Hi, I'm Irene Tansman, author of Abby and Arlene's Autism War. If you have a loved one who lives in Massachusetts and is enrolled in a day habilitation facility, or if you are considering day habilitation for your loved one with intellectual disabilities and/or autism, please consider joining the Day Habilitation Families in Massachusetts Facebook group. Today, I want to talk to you about what politicians should be considering in regards to people with intellectual disability and/or severe autism. My hope is that this will give you an idea of what you might be advocating for. Number one, COVID-19 mandated staff testing in group homes and day habilitation. This actually should be a federal mandate. Now, I want to tell you that Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican of Florida, has been criticized severely for his response to the COVID-19 testing, to the COVID-19 crisis. But he has announced that COVID-19 testing of group home staff every 2 weeks is mandatory in Florida. Here in Massachusetts, we should hang our heads in shame because we do not have mandated staff testing. Even in the case where there is a positive COVID-19 case in the group home or in the day program, there is no mandated staff testing. It's all voluntary. Number two, adjust the $2,000 limit on savings for home and community-based waiver services. To qualify to receive home and community-based services, that includes like group homes and shared living and those kinds of services. The individual may not have over $2,000 in their bank account. This amount was set in the 1970s and has not been adjusted for inflation. The Biden-Harris ticket is advocating to adjust this amount for inflation. This is long overdue, and hopefully other politicians will get on board and endorse it and fight for it. ABLE accounts were supposed to address this issue, but the ABLE's accounts turned out to be more trouble than they're worth. We need to be able to buy items for our loved ones, not to just place money in an investment account. This is not working. The ABLE accounts does not work. We need to adjust this $2,000 limit and make it into something that's reasonable. Update Medicaid rules for day habilitation. I don't know, it must be many years since these have been updated, if they haven't been updated at all. But I want to provide some areas in which the rules could be updated. That's number three. Revisit academic instruction rules. The teaching of academic skills in day habilitation is prohibited federally. However, individuals with severe autism sometimes cannot speak but can type for communication. However, many never received access to literacy instruction in school. Academic instruction should not be prohibited in this case. Okay, another example is mandate real therapies. Day habilitation is supposed to provide therapies, but there are many loopholes that providers can use to get around this. In Massachusetts, the lawsuits against the institutions, one of the claims that they put in these lawsuits were the institutions are supposed to be therapeutic, but yet they don't offer therapies. This is still the case today in day habilitation. There are some that have therapies, but a lot of them do not. Medicaid mandates that therapies such as speech, occupational, and therapy and physical therapy be offered, but this rule can be circumvented easily just by having a therapist consult with an executive regarding a cohort of several hundred individuals. This kind of thing, this kind of consultation type therapy should be illegal. Access to the bathroom. Another reason for the lawsuits against the institutions were the lack of access to the bathroom. That was another claim that was in the lawsuits. My son has Crohn's disease as well as autism. I fought long and hard for several years for him to have the privilege of going to the bathroom whenever he wants. However, this should not be a privilege. Everyone, even if they don't have Crohn's disease, should have access to the bathroom. This problem occurs because of staff to individual ratios. The staff person cannot accompany the individual who needs assistance to the bathroom and leave several other vulnerable individuals unsupervised. There has to be a solution to this problem. End of life services. This is in rehabilitation. Individuals with terminal illnesses such as cancer are forced to go to rehabilitation programming so that the providers can get paid. This should not be the case. Those individuals should be allowed to remain in their group home settings, surrounded by their loved ones and beloved staff to live out the last days. This is just cruel. Extended day services. Many individuals who attend rehabilitation live at home with parents. Parents cannot work a normal work day because of the day hab hours. There's a lot of talk about childcare for young children so that parents can work, yet nobody thinks about this population. There needs to be extended day services for individuals still living at home and whose parents need to work. We need to understand, we need to make our politicians understand the unintended consequences of removing the sub-minimum wage. Now, in Massachusetts, the business of the sub-minimum wage and sheltered workshops, it's all a moot point now because there are no more sheltered workshops in Massachusetts. But, and this is wonderful for the mildly disabled individuals who can work at competitive employment. However, more moderately to severely disabled individuals are pushed into rehabilitation because of this. These programs, the rehabilitation programs, are supposed to be therapeutic, just like the institutions were supposed to. But in many cases, they are not. Now, another thing we should be advocating for, asking our politicians to help us with, is a federal registry. We now, in Massachusetts, Nikki's law is now passed, and there will be a registry of abusers of individuals with disabilities. But we need to have this, and this is the case in other states as well, but we need to have this federally, because somebody can be on the registry in Massachusetts and just go and get a job in Rhode Island and vice versa. Now, I just want to tell you that election is coming up, and in the 4th Congressional District in Massachusetts, there are many candidates running. I know many of my viewers are not from Massachusetts, and many of them are not from the 4th Congressional District. But there is one candidate who has been responsive to the wide spectrum of issues in the disability community, and her name is Natalia Linos. She's going to be holding a town hall on disability issues on Sunday, August 13th at 6:45 p.m., and I'm going to post a link below. Now, I hope you will consider all of these points when you talk to your politicians, and whether you're Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. These are some of the issues that I hope you will consider bringing up with your politicians. Now, I hope you will also consider joining the Rehabilitation Families in Massachusetts Facebook group, and I hope you'll consider buying my book and reading it, Amy and Arlene's Autism War. Thank you for listening to my video, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.